In a universe where humanity has spread across numerous worlds, two planets, Urras and Anarres, orbit the star Tau Ceti, locked in a complex and often antagonistic relationship. Urras, the mother world, is a place of lush abundance, deeply stratified by wealth and power, where nation-states and capitalist economies thrive. Anarres, its moon, is a barren, arid world settled 2 centuries prior by a group of Urras-born anarchists, Odonians, who sought to build a society free from hierarchy, property, and government. This narrative, The Dispossessed, weaves together the past and present of Shevek, a brilliant anarchist physicist, as he embarks on an unprecedented journey from his austere, communal home to the opulent, individualistic society of Urras. Shevek's journey begins with a tumultuous departure from Anarres. A wall, seemingly insignificant yet profoundly symbolic, separates the port of Anarres from the rest of the world. On one side, it encloses the universe, leaving Anarres free; from the other, it encloses Anarres, a vast prison camp. As Shevek prepares to board the freighter Mindful, a crowd gathers, a mixture of curiosity and hostility, some even throwing rocks at the ship. One stone strikes a defense syndic, killing him. Strapped into the ship's lounge, Shevek feels a visceral fear as Anarres, his world, shrinks into a luminous sphere on the viewscreen. He is adrift, isolated, questioning his decision. During the 5-day journey, Shevek undergoes a series of immunizations administered by Dr. Kamoy, a gentle but bewildered Urras doctor. Their conversations highlight the vast cultural chasm between their worlds. Kamoy struggles to grasp Anarres concepts of social organization, especially their lack of established religion, hierarchy, and gender roles. Shevek, in turn, finds Urras notions of superiority and inferiority baffling, particularly how they apply to women in society. He observes the pervasive, subtle eroticism in Urras culture, from the softness of their beds to the design of their furniture, a stark contrast to the utilitarian simplicity of Anarres. Upon arrival on Urras, Shevek is met with an overwhelming display of splendor and a flurry of formal greetings and pronouncements he barely comprehends. The initial beauty of Urras, its lush landscapes, grand architecture, and vibrant cities, captivates him, a stark contrast to the barrenness of Anarres. He is housed in luxurious university rooms, attended by servants, and lauded as a scientific celebrity. However, he quickly realizes that this hospitality comes with hidden strains. His work, his very presence, is being co-opted by the IAD government for its own political and scientific gain. He yearns for genuine intellectual exchange but finds himself surrounded by men who speak of status, competition, and a pervasive, unspoken fear. He encounters a physical manifestation of Urras society's hidden costs when he sees a poor area of Neo-Essaya, a stark contrast to the opulence he has been shown. A significant flashback takes us to Shevek's childhood on Anarres. We see him as a young, curious boy, always questioning. His early understanding of mine versus ours is challenged by the one-eyed matron of the nursery, who teaches him that nothing is yours. It is to use. It is to share. This fundamental Odonian principle shapes his worldview. We witness his early intellectual struggles, particularly with the paradox of a thrown rock never reaching a tree, a problem that sets the stage for his later work in temporal physics. He meets his father, Pallet, who encourages his mathematical curiosity, sharing a book of logarithmic tables. This experience sparks a dream of a formidable, unyielding wall, representing obstacles and the longing for home. Shevek's youth continues with an exploration of prisons through Odo's writings, leading him and his friends to construct a mock prison, which unnerves him with its implications of forced confinement and punishment. A pivotal moment occurs when he and his friends, including the sharp-witted Badap and the ill-fated Tiran, discuss the nature of Urras and the Odonian ideal. Shevek passionately defends Anarres, emphasizing that their freedom lies in responsibility and mutual aid, not in laws or governments. He struggles with the notion of hate for Urras, arguing for understanding and challenging the official narratives of the mother world. His experiences working in the grueling afforestation project in the dust further solidify his Odonian beliefs, highlighting the satisfaction of collective effort and the emptiness of selfish pursuits. It is here that he also experiences a deeper, more profound sexual connection with a woman named Beshan, expanding his understanding of intimacy beyond simple pleasure. Back on Urras, Shevek is drawn into the academic world. He finds intellectual equals among Urras physicists like Atro and Pei, engaging in stimulating conversations that rekindle his passion for his work. However, he also confronts the pervasive nature of property and hierarchy in Urras society. His intellectual contributions are immediately seen as commodities, his theories as potential weapons. He discovers that his papers are being published under Sabel's name on Anarres, a betrayal that deeply wounds him but which he accepts for the sake of his work reaching the wider scientific community. Shevek's personal journey of self-discovery continues. He pushes himself out of his academic isolation, engaging in communal activities and forming new connections. He rediscovers music and recognizes its profound social significance. Though he struggles with the superficiality of some relationships, he forms a deep bond with Tokver, a biologist he knew briefly in his youth. Their partnership, based on mutual respect and shared values, becomes a source of immense joy and stability amidst the challenges of life on Anarres. They face the hardships of a prolonged drought, which highlights the strength of Odonian solidarity but also exposes the subtle ways bureaucracy and self-interest can emerge even in an anarchist society. The impact of their activism, particularly Shevek's continued efforts to share his work, begins to create friction within Anarres, as some see open communication with Urras as a betrayal of Odonian ideals. Shevek's personal life on Anarres flourishes with Tokver. They share a loving partnership, and the birth of their daughter, Sadik, brings immense joy, despite the ongoing drought and societal hardships. Tokver's pragmatic nature and devotion to her work balance Shevek's sometimes detached intellectual pursuits. He realizes that fulfillment is a function of time, and that true joy comes from embracing all of life's experiences, including pain and hardship. A message from a group of Odonians in Benbali, a nation on Urras experiencing revolution, reaches Shevek. This sparks a revelation. His theory, the general temporal theory, is not merely a scientific pursuit but a tool for breaking down the walls between worlds, for fostering universal communication. He realizes that the Urras he has experienced is not the entire truth, and that there are people struggling for the same ideals of freedom and solidarity. This realization propels him to take a drastic step. He escapes the university, seeking out the revolutionaries in the slums of Neo-Essaya, guided by the cryptic notes he had found. In Neo-Essaya's old town, Shevek finds not the beautiful cities he was shown, but grim, dark streets and a pervasive sense of anxiety and despair among the working classes. He witnesses the brutality of the state firsthand during a demonstration, as soldiers fire upon unarmed protesters. He takes refuge in a basement with a wounded man, a socialist worker, whose dying words and suffering underscore the cost of Urras's progress. This experience shatters any lingering illusions about the true nature of the mother world. It solidifies his commitment to the Odonian ideals of freedom and mutual aid. After witnessing the violence in Neo-Essaya, Shevek seeks refuge at the Terran embassy. Here, Ambassador Kang, a keen and insightful woman, offers him asylum and the means to broadcast his general temporal theory to all the known worlds, not as a property of one nation, but as a gift to humanity. This Ansible, a device for instantaneous communication, promises to revolutionize interstellar relations, breaking down the barriers of time and distance that separate civilizations. Shevek explains his vision. His theory is not merely physics but a tool for solidarity, a means to unbuild walls. He articulates the core Odonian belief that true freedom lies in mutual aid, in giving rather than possessing. Shevek prepares to return to Anarres. On the interstellar vessel, the Davenant, he speaks with his friends on Anarres via radio, confirming their continued commitment to Odonian ideals, even in the face of internal opposition and external threats. He also offers the Hainish first mate, Ketho, the chance to accompany him, emphasizing that freedom is never safe. Ketho, an ancient and contemplative being, accepts, drawn by the unique experiment that is Anarres. Shevek's return journey is filled with a sense of clarity and joy, knowing he is finally going home to his family and to the work of building a truly free society.